Let's talk about the Aventon Sinch 2.5 e-bike. It's a one-size-fits-all model. It's designed for riders from about 4'11" to 6'2". Myself, as a 5'10" rider, I found it to be comfortable. All folding e-bikes feel just a tad small to me. I would say all in all, though, nice fit. Bike comes in two colors. They have a midnight black, and the one that I tested was a sage. I like the sage. It's just a good-looking color on a good-looking bike. First impressions of the profile, quite impressive. Just a great looking e-bike, ships as a class 2, meaning it has a top speed of 20 miles per hour. It does come equipped with a throttle, and in my experience, it reaches easily 20 miles per hour and even exceeds that. The bike has Tektro disc brakes. The older version had mechanical. These are hydraulic. The motor is listed as a 500 watt with a 1056 watt peak. Always take those upper wattage claims with a grain of salt. They're kind of a sales tool. It can mean different things, very different things, depending on which e-bike you buy. Same thing goes for the range. Aventon claims a range of up to 55 miles, which typically means a lightweight rider on the lowest level of pedal assist might be able to achieve that. The heavier riders, not so much. The payload capacity, including your luggage and backpacks and panniers and all of that, 300 pounds. So your bike plus you plus whatever you're carrying, that's what usually equates to the payload capacity. And remember, if you're a bigger rider, you're going to need to carry a lot less. I would even say if you're in the 250-pound range and up, this bike's probably a little too small for you. It's going to wear down your battery quicker, so forth and so on. The bike folds down nice and compactly. The specs list the folded dimensions right around 41 by 24 by 29 inches. That makes it easier to fit into the trunk of a vehicle or an SUV. You'd really have to double check that and try to do so at a test ride before buying. The ride quality is quite good overall. The folding ability is well thought out. That red button on the lever near your chain ring, and then of course the handlebar stem thing, you can collapse that down to make it all much more compact to fit in there. Now, as I'd mentioned, comes with those hydraulic disc brakes, Shimano Altus drivetrain. The pedals also fold. The 2.5 model includes a suspension seat post and a very comfortable seat. I found those things to really make the ride quality much better. Also has a sturdy rear rack that comes with. It's built in. It can hold over 50 pounds to carry that extra gear, groceries, or even a pet carrier. The bike is kitted out nicely, turn signals, headlight, which you can control all the above from your display. And then the display on the 2.5, it's a newer, updated version over to the left side where you can access walk mode, signals, and change the level of pedal assist from the controls, all from the left. Just a really nicely thought out bike and nice to ride. The grippy fat tires perform exceptionally well on gravel in my experience. One thing I always like to suggest about Aventon and similar brands, their business model, kind of a hybrid sales approach. What do I mean by that? Well, their direct-to-consumer model is as good as any out there. You can buy it and get good prices. They have sales. They have the accessories all right there on their website. But they also have a robust collection of bike shops all around the country that they work with. That means you can go in and test ride. They have the different colors, different sizes, the parts, the accessories. When it breaks, their mechanics are familiar with your bike. So a bike like this that has that robust network to rely upon really is a huge advantage over the bikes that don't, like such as the Ride One Up. They don't have that. They can't offer that. If something breaks or you needed to get it fixed, it can be a real hassle. With the Aventon, it's pretty simple. They're all over the place. The Aventon Sinch 2.5 right now is listed at $1,799. The price can vary, of course, with tariffs. You never know. And then Aventon has sales depending on the holidays and so forth. To take a quick look through a bunch of snapshots that I took of the Aventon Sinch 2.5 out on the W&OD Trail in Northern Virginia, they give you just a really nice feel and sense for the bike, its components, quality, the accessories, and so forth. As you can see, the overall design, really attractive, well thought out. The branding and the color really pop. You can see on this bridge that I have it propped up against on that W&OD Trail, you can see that has that front fork to make the ride more comfortable, the 20 by 4 inch fat tires to soak up the bumps, and The fork with that lockout feature, what's that for? Well, if you're climbing a hill and you need more speed, maybe you do or don't want the lockout feature. Conversely, if you're on the trail, same thing. For me, it's a front fork. I just leave it on. I don't like to overthink that.
This front fork is really nice, actually, and this is a nice upright ride.
There's a built-in front headlight. The cabling is nicely thought out. As you can see, it tucks neatly into the frame to help create and facilitate a cleaner look from front to back. The original Cinch was a great bike, and with the 2.5, they just took a great folding e-bike and made it even better. It has a very dependable Shimano Altus drivetrain, and then of course the handlebars telescope down so you can fold it all up into a nice compact package to fit into your car, SUV, apartment, elevator, or what have you. I mean, it's a folding e-bike. You want the folding to be well thought out, and you don't want it to be difficult. The fenders have metal reinforcement bars. What are those for? Well, they attach to the forks, and their purpose largely, if you get a lot of debris or mud or what have you when you're riding, it'll help keep your fenders from sagging. The cockpit is clean and comfortable. You've got the Shimano Altus shifter on the right and the throttle and display on the left. The display shows you all the information you need, including what time it is, the battery life that you have left. It's color-coded for the assist levels, so you can quickly glance down to see which level you're in if you're trying to make your battery range last a little bit longer. That middle button, that icon that we see on just about everything these days, that's your power on-off switch. The arrows to the left and right are for your turn signals. Plus and minus are for your assist levels. Of course, plus, you go faster and you use more juice. Hit the minus button you can actually turn it off and pedal under human power if you need to, if you really needed to preserve a little bit more of your battery for that last stretch home. The throttle button is over on the left, just to the left of the display. Works quite well. As I mentioned, it'll throttle up over 20 miles per hour, at least in my experience. The 8-speed Shimano Altus drivetrain with thumb shifter, Tektro, all those components just add up to make a really nice, well-rounded little e-bike. These Tektro hydraulic disc brakes use mineral oil, so keep that in mind for your maintenance and adjustments. And on that note, maintenance is important. These are mechanical devices. They're going to break, they're going to need upkeep, and you're going to need a place to do it for you unless you're just have a lot of time or you're really good at it. Again, this is just an extraordinary looking e-bike. It ships as a 500 watt, 20 mile per hour class 2. However, through the app, you can bump it up to a class 3, and they say that'll put you up around the 25 mile per hour range. I didn't test that piece out. I stayed down in class 2. The last thing I want to say is that a test ride is essential. One of the biggest benefits you have with this bike is all those shops, that network of shops you can go to get a test ride. It can sound great, look great, and you can think it's the perfect e-bike online, and then you're riding, you're like, wow, I was wrong, or wow, I was right. Either way, it's nice to be able to test ride it. Highly suggested.
So how might I compare this Aventon Sinch 2.5 to other foldy bikes?